Bye. Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. It's good to see you guys here. We have some people that'll be popping in here shortly, so I'll leave it up to you, Sydney, to man the waiting room. But for those of you here, welcome back. This is day 2. So if anyone is just joining here today, we did have a session yesterday. As Sydney just said, we actually covered the 5-star framework yesterday. This is the #1 system that we teach and have our clients plug into as soon as they join us in Sales Academy. It is the framework that we've used. I created it about 9 or 10 years ago when I was a high ticket seller, and we have used this for rapid qualifying. When you're looking to qualify leads either in or out, right? This is a potential buyer. This is just a lead. What we want to do is get really good at that, and we want to do that really quickly and efficiently. And so we created a system that allows us to just take people through 5 buckets, backed by human behavior, backed by science, that qualifies them in or out pretty quickly, which is really critical because, as we talked about, we are currently in a trust recession. So trust is at an all-time low right now. People do not just trust anybody and everybody. In this market, you really have to earn the trust. We have to build the trust. We have to create the trust with every single person that we are asking or hoping to invest with us and work with us, right? So 95% of entrepreneurs are speaking to so many unqualified leads. And because we're talking to people that are not qualified for your offers, we're seeing people with low conversion rates. We're seeing people who are telling us they're getting a lot of objections and a lot of resistance inside their sales conversations. We're getting low decision making from leads. So leads are struggling to make a yes or no decision for you. And so you're chasing them around, you're trying to beg, you're trying to, follow up a million times, and they're just not able to make a yes or no decision. We are, talking with a lot of people that feel like they're getting lower quality clients and leads in their programs, in their conversations, and they're just having to put in a lot more effort in general to get people over the finish line and to reach their sales goals. This is straight across the board inside 0 figures all the way to 8-figure companies that I am working with their sales teams right now. We're seeing this across the board. So this is not like only applicable to you if, I don't know, you just got here and you're just starting coaching, or you've been here for a short time, but maybe you don't have a lot of clients, or you're a little bit newer. This is straight across the board. Straight across the board, this is what we are seeing. And the 5-star framework, which we covered yesterday, it really is to help you qualify your leads faster and get them moving over the finish line faster, but with no objections, right? The whole point is we're trying to get to yeses or nos, but what we don't want to hear is objections. And the 5-star framework helps you get rid of those. I always tell everybody inside Sales Academy, clients that follow our systems, they are eliminating 95% of objections. Like 95% are gone. They're not getting them. And that is the goal, right? That's what we all want. So today, what I want to do, and again, if you have not watched yesterday's session, you should go back and watch it, because each session leads to the next. So we're doing this in a particular order. Today, what I want to do is I want to run every lead that we have. We want to run them through a buyer's list, right? So I talk a lot about a buyer's list. And, we're going to go ahead and dive into that tomorrow, because part of what I want you guys doing is building a buyer's list of people that are high intent and high quality and want to buy from you. The way you're going to do that is using that 5-star framework, right? But today, before we talk about buyer's list tomorrow, today we really need to understand the difference in someone that should go on your buyer's list versus somebody that maybe you should not put on your buyer's list and be working them or putting time and energy. So if you're feeling like I'm having conversations, I'm talking to people, I'm growing my audience, but I'm talking to a lot of people that just don't feel like the right people, they feel very unqualified. This is literally the market right now. There are ways to eliminate that. And one of the things that we want to do today is walk you through how to do that. That way, tomorrow, as we focus on building a buyer's list and we talk about what that looks like and how to start that process, you're not going to put unqualified people on it. You're not going to start putting your time and energy on people in your audience that you might have right now or be talking to now that do not qualify for your programs. Okay. So we have to understand the difference between what we call in Sales Academy, we call our leads, our high-level buyers, we call them champion clients. And we call them champion clients because they're champions. They naturally are people that get results, they win, they reach their goals, they do what needs to be done. And that's who we want to work with, right? So we are very clear in our company what a good lead looks like versus a lead that's not ready. And I can tell in about 5 seconds. So you want to get really good very quickly at identifying this is someone I should keep talking to. They should go on my buyers list. I should be talking to them, working them, nurturing them. Or this is someone I should push down to the bottom. I shouldn't be putting my focus here on this particular person or lead. Okay. So inside of our company, we focus on what we call champion clients because our clients are on the field doing the reps. Right? They're not sitting in their pity. They're not sitting in their problems. They're not sitting in their struggle for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 months, 2 years. These are people that say, here's what I want, and here's what I'm going to do to get it. And they go after it. Those are the types of people we work with because those are the people that get results. You can't get results if you sit in the problem and you just make excuses and wait. You have to take action. So our clients are champion clients. So when we work with clients, we teach them how to attract champion clients. So if I say champion clients, that's what we're talking about. What I want to do is I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quick, and I'm going to go over the difference in a champion client versus a regular, because you guys are going to hear what I say, and very quickly you're going to identify who you have in your audience. Majority. It's not every single person, obviously, but you'll be able to tell for the most part. So let me share my screen. We do have a resource for you guys that we'll give you after, because we're going to give you an action step. And what I share with you here, I have it in a doc for you guys too, so you can print it out or take it. So that's coming shortly. Okay, so when we think about, let me just make this bigger for you guys. When we think about a regular client versus what we call a champion client, I'm not like this right here, this one thing is the difference in a 10K month and a 100K month. When you get this down and you execute this, it is literally the difference in you making 10K a month or 100K a month. Okay. All right. A regular client, we call these markers. And you guys don't have to write this down. I would actually just listen and just be in the moment because we're going to give you this. We have it in a doc for you. But we call in Sales Academy, we call these markers. It's more like DNA. Champion client DNA. And what I mean by that is each of your people, you have a regular client, a champion client, and they have different DNAs. So they have things about them that tell you and show you, I'm a regular client and I'm a champion client. So in Sales Academy, we call it your champion client DNA. And you guys are going to actually set up a little bit of yours today. I'm going to have you do it because this is non-negotiable. This is so critical in you making a sale or you lose a sale because you need to know the difference. So let's talk about regular clients because this is 90% of your audience. Okay, this is 90% of the people you are talking to, that you are attracting, that you're putting in conversations, that are registering for your stuff, that are joining your things. 90% of them are these people right here. You'll know this right off. Number one, the markers in the DNA of a regular client, this is what makes them up. They need convincing to buy. So they are skeptical and they're hesitant. They have a lot of questions, they're resistant, they have mindset stuff. They need you to do a lot to get them to buy. Okay. They struggle to implement and take action unless you constantly hold their hand. So they won't move without you. They won't take action without you. They want you to do it for them. They're just really like, it's like pushing a rock up a hill. Okay. They're not like a dive in. What do I got to do? Great. I'm off to do it. They are extremely resistant and hard to move. Okay. They have unclear and misaligned goals, which make it not just difficult, almost impossible for them to get the results when you work with them. And these are people that they show you all of this, by the way, everything I'm saying, you will see this in the 5-star framework. When you put your leads through the 5-star framework, you're going to see every bit of this. It's going to tell you real fast. So they have unclear, misaligned goals. And so the things that they're doing do not align what they say they want, and what they're doing do not align with what they say they want in terms of goals. So they're doing one thing, saying another, and it's not making sense. And then they switch it up. So every time you talk to them, it's different, or they're always changing things constantly, right? They're not convicted in what it is they want and how to get there. A regular client is going to expect really fast wins, We call this instant gratification inside Sales Academy, where it's like, oh, I expect that I can just be here today and show up and I want the goal and it's going to happen. I expect I can build the Facebook group, build it, they will come kind of mentality, or they expect that they don't have to do what 7 and 8 figure millionaires, billionaires, inventors have had to do to get from poverty to where they are. They don't have to do that. There's an easier, faster way where I don't have to work as hard. So they have this mindset and this idea of like, I shouldn't have to do those things to get what I want. There has to be a faster, easier way. And when they don't get what they want, they'll blame. So they point fingers. You'll get this in the 5-star framework. Oh, I'm not there and I'm not getting, you'll get it in the gaps. When you ask them their gaps, they're going to say, oh, the algorithm, if Facebook would just stop changing stuff, or, nobody has money, everybody's broke. Not true. Look around. That's not true at all. Right. Because I'm so busy. I have 5 kids. I have a full-time job. I'm busy. I don't have time like everybody else has all this extra time. I don't. When we all have 24 hours in a day, they will blame past coaches, past investments, partners, marriages, divorces, stuff. They'll just blame. And there's no self-responsibility for why they are where they are. They're price sensitive. Regular clients are so price sensitive. And usually I call them like they're your price shoppers. So inside Sales Academy, we teach you 3 types of buyers. Everybody has them. Window shopper, price shopper, and you have your value shopper. Okay. Your window shopper is outside the window. Love, 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 love you. Like, heart, heart. Sign up for all the free stuff. I'll never buy it, anything. Your price shopper will buy something, but the price has to be right. It's like the Price is Right show. If the price is right, if there's a bargain, a deal, a discount, maybe. Your value shopper could care less what your price is. They want to know specifically and accurately, how are you solving my problem? And they will pay you thousands of dollars to solve that problem for them. Those are the 3 types of people in every audience we have. 90% of entrepreneurs talk to the window and the price shoppers all day long, and you're getting all of this stuff right here, and you're not even making 10K months when we should be making 100K months, and that should not be difficult. So regular clients are very price sensitive. You could give them a price and they will go in complete hiding and just kind of like freak out about it for a while. Also, with regular clients, you're going to notice they're very disengaged and they're inconsistent, and they don't have, I don't want to say they don't think for themselves, but they don't trust themselves. They have a lack of trust in their ability to accomplish what they say they want. So they second guess and question every decision they make. So you'll notice these people go back and forth with their decisions where they're indecisive, actually, right? They have a higher likelihood of refund requests, payment issues, and not completing your program. I will tell you right now, being a $1 million coach for the last, 25 years, I'm going to tell you right now, there's no amount of money that's worth signing regular clients. There is no amount of money worth it. It is nothing but a headache and a pain for everybody. It's a horrible experience for all parties involved. And you will absolutely see a super, super low success rate in your program because they have all these things here. And you're going to have a heavy lift on your end, whoever's delivering, because you have to try to cater to this. And in order for someone to get a result, they have to do the work. They have to want the goal, the result. So they have a high likelihood of asking you for their money back, canceling a contract, just not paying you and ghosting you, like the legal binding contract doesn't mean anything. Or they'll pay you and never show up for your program or use the program. We have this all the time. We see this all the time in programs. It's draining your time and energy, and there's no real results happening. And I will tell you, as much as we love to make a lot of money, we're all here to make a good income. At the end of the day, the income is never going to be satisfying if the impact for the clients is never there. And if you're chasing people and you're begging people and they're not enjoying it and they're not getting the results, it sucks, to be quite honest. It's not a good experience for anybody. Okay, a champion client. These are the markers in the DNA of a winner. Okay, this is a winner. This is someone who naturally wins in their life. That doesn't mean that they don't struggle. That doesn't mean that they don't have mindset stuff. It doesn't mean they don't have questions or get stuck. That's not at all what it means. It means the way they show up and the way they respond and react and the way they receive coaching and mentorship is entirely the opposite of how a regular client receives it. And this is what we call the champion client DNA. Number one, they already come to you pre-sold. They are pre-sold, self-motivated, and decisive. They know they don't need zero convincing. They don't need any convincing. They will come to you when they have a credit card and they're ready to buy. They might have some questions, but they're ready to buy. They're sold. They're pre-sold. They take full ownership of their success and they're committed to the implementation. So in 5-star framework, when you're qualifying people, they will tell you, I've made these investments, I've done these things, I'm doing these things, right? In the gaps, gaps, when we say, what sorts of things are you doing to reach that goal? They'll give you a list. I've invested time, money, and energy in these things right here. Here's the things I'm doing today. Here's the things I did yesterday. These are the things that I'm doing. They take full ownership of attempting, whether they're doing it right or not is irrelevant. They're trying, they're attempting to reach that goal without you, like before you. They're clear on their goals and they're aligned with your methodology. A lot of times what we see when we work with coaches and sellers is you're selling people your offer and no one cares about your offer. No one cares about your program, your modules, your offers, your bonuses. What they want to know is, tell me specifically in a few steps, how are you solving my problem? What does that look like? What's that path? How are you going to help me do that? What does that path look like for me so I can decide if I want to do the result that way? Not everybody wants to get the result the way you teach it, just because they have the problem you can solve. And that is critical to understand, because you're going to talk to people who have the problem you solve. They seem like a great person, could be a great client. You know you can help them, and they like you, and they're giving you the answers, and they're checking all the boxes. But the way that you teach that result, they don't want to do it that way. So if you're trying to sell somebody something that is not aligned with how they want to get there, you're going to get objection and resistance every time. So when you're talking with a champion client, they are very clear on their goals. They know exactly what they want to accomplish. And from what you've shared with them, they are on board with how you're going to help them get there. That is key. Don't talk about your program. Nobody cares about the offer and the program. You got to talk about the specific things you're going to help them do that correlates directly with the result. And if you start throwing in extra and getting desperate, or if you're trying to overcompensate, oh, and we'll do this too, and we'll do this, and we'll do this, and you're going to lose clients left and right in this market. Just solve their problem, okay? There's no extra, no fluff. We always tell all our clients, cut the fat. Cut the fat, trim the fat, none of that in this market, okay? Champion clients invest based on value and long-term transformation. They don't make a decision based on your price. A high-level buyer, if they have a problem and they want it solved and they believe 100% you have the solution, money will be of no question. Even if they don't have it, they'll find it. If they believe, oh my God, you have what I need, you have the path, you know what I don't know, you know what I don't know. I believe that what you're doing with your clients and what you're sharing with me, I believe you can help me reach my goal. And I believe that I can get there faster and easier with you. They'll find the money. They will not come to you with money stuff. Okay? So that's huge to know. The thing is when you are talking to people about working together and you're getting money objection, time objection, really any objection, it's an excuse because they don't have complete certainty and clarity that you have what they need and that you could solve their problem, or that the way you're going to do it is what they want. You have not made that clear. And a confused mind cannot say yes confidently. So you get an objection, right? The other thing with a champion client, they're engaged. They're super proactive. They'll come to you and say, yeah, I'm doing this, this, and this, and I'm not sure if all of these are the right things, but I'm thinking this. What do you think? And then when you give them feedback, they act on it. They move fast. I'll give you a great example. Everyone that signed up and registered for this workshop is not here live, right? Because time. Well, I didn't have time. I'm so busy. I'm not making the money I want, but I'm busy. I don't have time. I'll catch replays. I'll watch it later. Maybe next time you do this. Maybe in 6 months, I'll watch how to make more money, right? But I'm not making the money I want. People prioritize what is important to them. You're not gonna find time anywhere because there's 24 hours in a day and we all share the same. You have to make the time. You have to prioritize, right? And the reason that champion clients win is because they prioritize what is important to them above everything else. So they're naturally winners. They naturally get the results versus people who sit and struggle and stuck for a very long time. The other thing with a champion client, they have the ability to win inside of your offer and the work that you do with them because they're primed for that success. They don't even think about failure. They're like, of course I'm going to win. Of course I'm going to get the result. Because I'm going to show up, I'm going to do the work, I'm going to be coachable, right? The other thing is they give great testimonials. People that come in have a great experience with you, and people that come in and they get results and they have progress and breakthroughs, they don't just give you great testimonials. They'll spend money with you for years. They'll tell everybody about you. Our clients in Sales Academy are with us 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5 years, same program, 2 to 5 years. People ask me all the time, how the heck do you get a client to sign up for that many years with you in the same program, right? One is the design and structure. It's very live. It's very open coaching. We're supporting you live, so it's very live, but because they're here to win, and people know that you're not going to make millions of dollars in a huge global impact in 5 months. I don't care if anyone's selling you that. It's a load of crap. It takes time. You can't have a baby in under 9 months. You can't build a house in less than 6 months. I think results and impact and transformation take time. And champion clients know that, right? Remember we talked about regular clients, that instant gratification. Oh, it shouldn't take that long. You're building a global impact. You're making huge incomes online. Of course it's going to take time, right? So that's a mindset you can pay attention to. How long is your program? Oh my God, it's 12 months? 12 months to build $1 million business? It's that mindset, right? Insert any amount of money. It's the mindset. And champion clients energize your business instead of draining, right? Because they don't require as much from you. They'll come to the table with a whole lot more, which makes your coaching a whole lot easier, right? So I want to share a quick story with you guys that I think you'll get a lot from this. And I'm only going to share this because I think it's going to help you kind of see like the importance of what we're talking about here right now. Back in 2020, so like 5 years ago, as of now, back in 2020, I had a multi-7-figure business. Cindy was part of my team back then. She's been with me for a while. We had 50 clients across our programs. We had 5 team members, well, including me. We ran a session a day of live coaching for all of our clients on different topics. We had clients getting great results, phenomenal results. Everything was going really well. And I kept feeling this urge, something's off. Something is just not working for me. And on the outside, it looked like we had it going great. We were building our team. We were growing these group coaching programs, scaling our efforts, making all this money. Clients were sharing all these 6- and 7-figure wins and just huge results. And meanwhile, inside, I was battling a massive unalignment. So in 2020, I woke up one day and I went to my mentors, I went to my team, and I went to my clients. And I said, I'm shutting my business down, taking a break. And I gave everyone notice. And I served my clients. I gave my team time to figure stuff out. I worked with my coach and continued all of that. I followed through with my commitments, even though I made a big decision. I followed through. I delivered. I did what I was supposed to do and said I would do. But I said, when that's done, shutting it down. And I don't mean I'm shutting my Facebook group down or my program, my whole business. Website, programs, letting all clients go, all team, everything, as if it never existed. And I took 1 whole year off. I did basically a sabbatical. And I worked as an employee for some 7- and 8-figure coaches in the industry. I worked for them. I did some high ticket selling. I got back into wearing a lot of hats and doing a lot of different things and just spending a lot of time with myself, figuring out what is it that I want? How do I want to impact the world? How do I want to make my money? And what do I want all this to really, truly look like? If I could have it any way, what would that be? And what got very clear to me is the big gap in the market, in the industry of people just don't know how to sell. People don't love selling. They don't know how to properly sell. They don't know how to effectively communicate. And so they don't know how to make the money they want and the impact they want without hustling and dying at their desk to do so. And so what I realize is I think that's the easiest part of business. I love that the most. But when I looked at the business I was building in 2020, it was a replica of what everybody else was doing because it worked. So I was building somebody else's business. I was hustling. I was launching every 4 weeks, 10-day launches every 4 weeks, clockwork. Everything that I was doing was dependent on me. And what I realized is I'll never scale this unless I die at this desk, because everything I'm doing is dependent on me. It all requires me. And the way that it was growing and the way it was scaling and the people I was working with and the things we were doing together were not in alignment with my soul. Like, it wasn't the stuff I was so like empowered and excited to wake up and do every day. Like, I could do it. Clients got great results, but it was heavy coaching. It was a heavy lift. And honestly, we were building a business around things that I didn't want to teach, things I didn't want to coach on, things I didn't want to talk about, things that made me feel like where I was 12 years ago, not where I am today and where we're going. I wanted higher level clients. I wanted higher sophisticated clients. I wanted clients already winning before me. I wanted people coming in to match my energy so we could expand and impact the whole room versus having people show up on the calls, spiral in and be a negative and in the same place week after week while you have these other clients scaling and growing and doing all these things, and they're sitting there listening to the same person every week for months and months and months talk about the same problem. And I'm like, this doesn't feel good. I don't love this. And I started dreading getting on the calls. So what happened? I started losing clients, amazing clients. My best clients started falling off because they couldn't stand being in the room with the spiralers. Then we noticed on the front end, sales slowed down because ultimately, internally, subconsciously, I didn't want to sign more clients. Like, I did, but I didn't, because I didn't want to work with those types. I didn't want to grow the business model I was growing, and I didn't want people coming in for me to teach them the stuff I was teaching. Everything was out of alignment. At that time, I couldn't see any other way to fix the problem. It was so bigger. It was bigger than me. And I'm like, the only thing that I can imagine is just, I have to shut it down. And I have to like reset and start over. I got to take a minute. It's exactly what I did. Everybody thought I was having a mental breakdown. Everyone thought I was losing my mind. Everyone was like, are you crazy? You're making so much money. You got it figured right out. And I'm like, and I'm dead inside. Like, I'm unhappy. And this is, what am I going to do when I'm 50? I can't do this. What am I going to do when I get older? Or like, when am I going to have a life, right? Because the way that this is going, I'm tied to the desk 24/7. If I stop, the sales stop. If I stop, client support stops. If I stop, everything stops. And it just wasn't going to scale or sustain. And we see this in 7- and 8-figure companies every day. They've set their business up where if you have to take a day off, God forbid, or a week or a month or months, your business is done. You lose everything you built. We have other people that maybe they're not that successful, but they're never going to get there. We have people that you're never going to get to 7 figures because you can barely get to 6 because of the way you're selling and the way you're building your business model. So we have people on both sides. And it all boils down to the things we're teaching in these five days with you guys. It isn't about a strategy. This isn't about like a Facebook hack or an Instagram hack. Do I do Facebook or should I do LinkedIn? Should I do a group or not do a group? You know, should I sell a high ticket, a low ticket, a big ticket? What should I do? Should I do all? Should I do a funnel? It isn't about that. Those all work. That's why you see people doing billions of dollars with all of those things. It isn't about that. It's about alignment and you learning how to sell, how to effectively communicate the solution you're promising people in exchange for their money. That's where the magic happens. And you having conviction, not only in what you know you're better at than anybody else, right? You can confidently stand here. I could stand in front of every other 8-figure salesperson, and I'll tell you, they don't sell the way I do. They don't have nothing on me. I have no competitors. I am very unique in the way that I sell, and I'm the best at it, which is why millionaires and 8-figure people hire me, because I'm better at sales than they are. I know what I'm doing. It's my sweet spot. It's what I do best. And when I step outside of that, and I start offering other things just because I know I can help you, or just because I want to get a sale or hit the goal, forget it. My business starts to crumble. And I see this every day with people that are not generating consistent sales. We get desperate. We step outside of our zone and we start selling things and offering things that are not in alignment. We start discounting our prices. We start signing clients we know we shouldn't sign, that we know we don't want to work with. We see all the red flags and we make excuses for it because we're in emotional reactive mode. What we do is help you set up sales systems that get you out of that. When you have a system, you don't do any decision. You make no decision on emotion. You follow the system. You follow the system, right? When our clients use our systems, there's no thinking and there's no emotion. Follow the system every day, right? Just like kind of a robot. You follow the system, right? If you think of any place you've ever shopped or any place you've ever been, you could probably think of like a pizza place, or you could think of a place that you like to eat. Think of something where it's like, every time I go, I know exactly what to expect. It comes out perfect every time. Why do you think that is? It's because they have a system behind the scene. They do the same thing the same way every time. That's how you generate sales consistently, on demand, repeatedly in a predictable way. Is you set up a system, you get it working where you know if I do A, B, C, it produces X, Y, Z. And that's clockwork. You fire it up every morning and you run it, right? That's what we teach you. We're not teaching Facebook versus LinkedIn or high ticket versus low. Well, we do talk about that. But we're not talking about things like that. It's not about the strategy. We're building systems and sales skill. When you combine those together, you're unstoppable. You'll never be broke. You'll never financially struggle when you know how to sell. And when you're aligned with the thing that you're selling, when you're aligned and you have conviction with that, meaning you'll stand in front of a room of people way more successful than you, way smarter than you, and been in the game a whole lot longer than you. And you'll stand there and say, you don't have to agree, but I know I'm the best at what I do. And I know the way that I do it is the best. And you'll stand there very confidently and say that in front of all those people. That's when you know you are locked in and in alignment. When you don't second guess and question, you don't play games with freebie seekers and price shoppers. You just don't entertain it because you know your value. And you know that people that will pay you thousands and thousands of dollars also value what you do. And this is the big thing with like price objections, money objection. I don't believe in objections. I don't teach my clients how to handle objections or overcome them. We prevent them. Stop getting in conversations with people that don't value what you do and have no money. Simple. When you talk to people that are giving you money objections, either they're not committed to their goal, so they want it, but they're not willing to do what it takes to get it, right? You haven't been clear, so they're not certain. But the other thing is that it's like you attracted that person. No one attracted your people for you, right? Like you attracted those people. So what did you say? How did you say it? What was your energy? What were you talking about? What was your price? I'm going to tell you right now, high level people, champion clients, they like to invest big money. I'll give you an example. You have some people that shop at Goodwill and you have some people that shop at Gucci. No right, no wrong, right? Neither good or bad, neither right or wrong, but they're different. Why do you think there's one person, they both want a handbag, but one goes to Goodwill and one goes to Gucci. One drops $10 and one drops $3 grand on a handbag. Why do you think that is? Why do we have low class, upper class, middle class? Why do we have the food pantry and then, we have Whole Foods? Why do you think we have those things in life? Not talking business, just in life. Because different people value things differently. Bottom line. So you're going to have people, about 90% of people in your audience, that don't value what you sell. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. They don't value it. Just like some people don't value Whole Foods. Some people don't value Gucci product, right? Some people are like, I didn't spend $3 grand on a bag. Not because the bag is bad or Gucci should shut down. Should they go out of business? So should they lower their price? Those people don't value it. but there's plenty of people that do. And that's the whole point. Like, you have people in your audience, in your network. We have billions of people that are free on social media. You have access to them for free. And there's more people than you're ever going to be able to coach, ever be able to serve or sell to, that value what you sell already. You don't need to convince. You don't need to negotiate. You don't need to beg. You don't need to drag them around. You don't need to handle or overcome their objections. You don't need to discount your prices. These are people that are already ready to go. They are already there. And this is the thing with the 5-star framework that we taught yesterday. If you put every lead through every bucket and you follow what we teach you, you're going to be able to identify all of this in those buckets very quickly. Very, very quickly, you are going to recognize a high-end buyer, a champion client over a regular lead. And everything I just said, you're going to see those things pop up and be like, oh my God, that's what Ann said. Oh my God, they just said exactly what Ann said they would say. Wow, they're showing me that. Wow, they're doing that. And a lot of people think, oh, I just had a high ticket sale come out of nowhere. Sales don't come out of nowhere. Results don't come out of nowhere. Results are showing up because you're in alignment and because you're doing the right work and the right things. When you do the right things consistently and you do them well, the results must follow. Right? When you're not doing the right things and you're not doing the things that you're doing very well, the results must follow. And they just don't look the same. So what I want to do, and I wanted to share that with you because I want you to understand how important it is that you guys understand and get really clear on who do you want to work with. You have to start to think about who are the people that get results in my work and who are the people that don't. So if you've worked with clients, or if you are, you would look at someone that got results and was awesome to work with, phenomenal to work with, got great results, versus the person that you're like, oh, it's like pulling teeth. I love you, but you're driving me crazy. You're treading water. You're not getting the results. You're not doing the work. You're not showing up. You're just taking no ownership. You're not getting after it. You think about those two people with anyone you've ever worked with. What makes each of them so different? What were the characteristics that helped that person be awesome to coach and work with and get the results? And what was the other person like that wasn't? It's so obvious. When you look at it this way, it's so easy to tell. And here's what I will tell you. Your mindset and your messaging are attracting whoever's in your audience. Whatever it is you believe and whatever you think is what you go create, and that attracts. And I will tell you, your price attracts your people. I know you guys think, oh my God, low ticket's the answer, low ticket because everyone is broke. That's not true. You know who's broke? Only the broke. Only the broke is broke. There's many people spending millions and millions and millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars right now. Everyone is not broke. That's not true. Everybody is not broke. Some people are broke, but not everybody. There are more people in your audience than you're ever going to be able to serve, that you have access to, who have money and that want exactly what you offer. But because you're showing up with the wrong energy, and because you're not showing up with the alignment I talked about here today, and you're not speaking in your messaging and in your conversations at a high enough level, even if you were talking to someone and they were right under your nose, ready to give you thousands of dollars, and they were a champion client, you wouldn't recognize it, because the way you're showing up and the way you're speaking does not attract them. So they're going to say, yeah, it sounds good, but no, thank you. Maybe another time. And you're going to be like, oh, okay. But that's a person who'll turn around to your competitor and pay them 50 grand today and be like, let's go, I'm ready. And you'll be like, how the heck did that happen? My offer was lower. Your energy, if your energy is low around the work that you do, if you lack clarity, if you lack conviction, it's going to show in your messaging, and it's going to show in the people you talk to. I can always tell how my energy is based on who my audience is. I can always tell, who's in my audience, or my energy based on who's in my audience. If I'm getting a bunch of objections, which I don't get, but back in the day, if I get a bunch of objections or I get really low level leads and negative kind of spirally type of leads, I know that it's something going on with my mindset, something with me, because I'm attracted you. That's how you got here. I attracted you. So something that I said, or the way that I said it, or something I did attracted you. I can always reflect back to myself. I always know if I'm operating at a high level based on who's in my audience, who I'm in conversation with, who I'm talking to, clients coming through programs. You have to pay attention to that, right? But you have to have the clarity. So what I want you guys to do, I want to give you guys an exercise, okay? Because I don't just want to talk at you. I actually want you guys to get results. So Sydney is going to share a doc with you guys, okay? There's going to be two things in the chat. There's going to be, well, it's one doc, but there's two things in the doc. One, I broke down regular client versus champion, so you guys have the list. You can take that with you and use that. You should. You can actually start to check off, like, oh, let me see who's in my audience, right? Like, start to look at those and be like, who? And identify. Do you have mostly champion clients or do you have mostly regular client leads in your audience? By looking at those. But there's an action step. There's an action step on the last page, on page 2. And this is what I want us to do together now. I want you to, and it's on that doc on page 2. On page 2, for those of you on the replay, we'll have this right below the video, so you can download this. On page 2, there's 3 boxes. And there's champion client DNA marker 1, 2, and 3. I actually want you to map out the top 3 DNA markers that your champion client must have in order for them to be successful and win in your work. So what I want you to, I don't want you to come up with a bunch, although there are several. I just want you to do 3 for the sake of time and just to give you guys a little bit to go on. There's going to be several, but I want you to think of just the top 3, the most important markers that your champion client must already have when they come to you in order for them to come into your offer, show up and receive, implement and follow what you tell them to do, and get the result. What do they need to already have? What is their DNA? Give 3 characteristics or things about them that you feel, and this is different for everybody because you all have different people that you work with, and you all do something different and you all want a different type of client. But I want you to think of the top 3. And here's what this means. Going forward in your conversations, if the people you're talking to don't at least have those 3 things, they are a no-go. We don't sign them. I don't care if you're going to give me $100,000 today. I'm not signing if you don't match my DNA. If you don't match and check the box of a winner who's going to have success in my program, it's not worth signing. Because in order for you to win and get the result and be awesome to work with, right? You have to have these things. What are the top 3 things? And then if you want to, I'd love for you to share one of those things in the chat. Just one. You don't have to share all 3. You can, but I'd love for you to share at least one of those. What's one of those things, like, going forward, if you don't have this, we don't work together. I'd love, 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 love to hear and see what you guys come up with. It's a really good exercise, you guys. It just allows you to start tapping into who it is you really want to work with, right? I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that. Awesome. Coach Belkey said, energizes your business instead of draining it. I used to have a client who drained my energy and I let her go. Absolutely. And Sydney and I were having a chat today, and we were talking about how, we were talking with one of our clients, and she was saying how she has a client that shows up in a group space and just kind of drains the energy of the room and doesn't add value. So they're receiving and they're getting and they're pulling, but they're not adding value, which is draining. And the thing is, if it's draining for you, it's draining for your clients too, if they're in a group space or if they are in any community, right? So it's so important that you sign clients that are going to energize and have value, like bring something to the table, right? Bring good energy, energize you, because that's how you become even better at what you do. Is when you're working with people that light you right up and energize you, not drain you and suck the life out of you where you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get off the call. And if you're if you have group programs or other clients a part of that energy, like Sydney and I experienced it. Some of our best clients years ago fell right off. And they've told us, they were like, it has nothing to do with you guys. We love you. I wouldn't have got the results without you, but I can't take the energy of these people. Right? So that is so important. That's a great one. Michelle said, takes full ownership of their success and is committed to implementation. Yes, because without that, they're looking at you to get them the results. They're expecting, I'm going to sign up, I'm going to pay you, sign up, and you're going to do this for me. I always tell people, no, this is a partnership. We're going to lock arms together. I'm a partner with every one of my clients. We're in this together. If you fall off, I can't get you there. I can't do it without you, right? We're in this together working toward the same exact goal, but you have a 50% responsibility and I have a 50%, and we got to come together with it. So literally in everything I say to my clients, I'm like, we are partners. You bring your 50%, I bring mine, we bring it together, we're 100%, we're going to get there because we're going to do it together. If you have clients that are coming in with the mindset, I paid you, I made this investment, get me the result. And then they don't take responsibility for their actions or their inaction. And then they expecting you to solve all of their problems and get them the result. It's a lose-lose situation for everybody. You want to work with people that are like, I'm going to get this result with or without you. That's what I want my clients to say. And maybe it'll be faster and easier with you, right? But either way, with or without you, I'm going to get the result. It's the mindset, it's the mentality, it's the responsibility, right? Like I'm here. I'm where I come from: poverty, food stamps, welfare, single mom, PTSD, trauma, abuse, starvation. I mean, I could go on and on. I'm here because I did the work to get here, because I wanted it and I was doing it no matter what. There's no coach that got me here. I did this. Coaches have helped me along the way. I've learned along the way. I've made massive mistakes along the way. I've failed every step of the way. But make no mistake about it. I got me here. I got me here because I'm committed to it and because I showed up and I do the work. And yes, I am very coachable, but I do the work and I bet on myself. I don't expect anybody to do, there's never been a handout. No one has straightened my crown for me. No one has pulled out the seat at the head of the table for me. I had to do all that. No one picked me up every time I fell. I did that. I got myself here. Make no mistake about it. And you want clients like that. Otherwise, they're not going to be empowered. They're not going to take action. They're going to say, what should I do? And have no ideas. I like clients that can think for themselves, right? Hey, Anne, I have an idea. I was thinking, what do you think? What are your thoughts? That's what I love. I can coach you. But if you're coming to me, you're like, I don't know. Everything sucks. Everybody sucks. This always happens. It's always been this way, just everything. And you're like, I don't know. So what do I do? Tell me what to do and I'll do it. It's like, oh, right? Like it's a hard hit. And you want to help them, but you're like, damn it, I need you to be there with me. Like, and it's just not a good match. And so it isn't that those people won't get there. They have to hit the breaking point where they're like, okay, I'm ready. No one's going to do this for me, right? I got to do it myself. Then you can help them. But you want to be looking for that in that 5-star framework. And we ask that by asking, we have your goal. What have you been trying to do to get there? Talk to me about that. What does that look like? And we'll have them tell us, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've been doing this, this is working okay, but this, and they're sharing with us that they're taking action, they're trying, and they're at least making attempts to do it. They're taking the responsibility, even if it's not working or even if it's not the right thing, they're trying. And that is them going after it. That's them doing it without me, right? So in the gaps in that 5-star framework, bucket 3, that's what you're figuring it out. You're saying, okay, you got this goal, right? But do you really want that goal? Do you want it enough to do what it takes? And then we get in the gaps where we can talk about what are you doing to get there. And this is where they're either going to share what they've been doing and trying, or this is where you're going to hear, well, I would be doing stuff, but like algorithm and this past coach and my life is so busy and I'm just so, like, you think Tony Robbins and Oprah is not busy? Like, right? It's the mindset. And this is where you'll get it in that 5-star framework. You can pin this real fast, right? Is this helpful? Does this make sense for you guys? What I want to do too, I want you guys to go back and watch session 1, day 1, if you didn't yet. Don't skip that because it makes this make more sense, but they go together. Like, I'm not going to give you anything you don't need here. I'm literally going to give you the step-by-step, like just do these things in the order that makes sense. So definitely go back and catch that if you missed it yesterday. But I do want to remind you guys, for those of you that could be interested, if you guys are considering Sales Academy, or if you have thought even at all or considered, maybe Ann could help me, or maybe I'd like to work with Ann, I'd like to explore that. The Sales Academy is the #1 way to do this. It's the only program, there's no other program that teaches human behavior, high ticket, social selling the way that we do, backed by ethics. My background is brain science, and I know that's super geeky, but here's what I'll tell you about it. Here's how it helps you make money. Here's how my brain science education helps you make money. I know what part of the brain to talk to when we're talking sales and money and making a change and getting results. There's 3 parts of the brain. We teach this in Sales Academy. There's 3 parts of the brain, but there's one that ultimately makes a financial decision. When you know how to speak and fire off that part of the brain, sales happen like that. So I am a little geeky in that way, but I make it easy for you to understand, and I apply it so that you guys can get it really quick. But that's my background, coupled with sales psychology. I've also been a high ticket seller for 25 years. I've worked for Kelly Roach, I've worked for David Nagel, I've worked for Kathy Heller. I've worked for them, but I've also trained their sales teams, I've trained their coaches. Like, this has been my life's work. Okay, inside Sales Academy, we're going to help you build the systems that we're teaching you here. So we're going to help you build the 5-star framework. We don't just give you the 5-star framework. You guys have to tailor it. You've got to know what questions to ask in each bucket and how do you ask them and in what order. Because it's not an interview. It's not an interrogation. You're not like, tell me who you are. What do you do? Great. What's your goal? Okay. Why is that important? Okay, great. Why are you struggling? It's not like an interrogation, right? I always remind clients, no interrogating, no interviewing. You actually have to have a nice conversation, but you can move pretty swiftly and stay out of friend zone, because we don't want you in friend zone either. You can stay out of friend zone when you know what questions to ask in each bucket that move that. Again, we're talking to the parts of the brain that naturally get them moving in the right direction. We don't have to persuade you. We don't have to convince you. We don't have to beg you. We say certain words and you do it for yourself. That's ethical. That's what we love. That's what we teach. That's how we do sales. And the 5-star framework, you have to come up with your own questions, which we guide you. We help you do that. That way, you feel good asking the questions. It rolls off your tongue. It works for you. Okay? We're going to help you build a buyer's list. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. You have to have a buyer's list. You've got to have a buyer's list. You're going to know why tomorrow. Like, you can't be selling on social media in a trust recession and not have a buyer's list. You will die at your desk 80 hours a week chasing sales. I just want you to simplify that. This doesn't need to be this difficult. We got to have a buyer's list, but you need to know, how do we build it? And then how do I work it? How do I work it and convert it? Building it is one thing. We're going to show you that tomorrow, but working it and converting it is a whole nother game. It's a whole nother game, right? You can have all the leads and not make any sales if you don't know how to convert those leads. We have people that have come in Sales Academy with 200,000 people in a Facebook group, $0 from that group. That's a lot of leads. But guess what? They're unqualified. They're not the right leads. And they don't know what to do with them once they get them. Once you get the leads, it's like, what do I do with these leads? Do I pitch them? Do I sell them? What do I say? How do I talk to them? I don't know how to build the relationship. We don't know how to do it. And the reason is because 97% of the people out there tell you what to go do, but they don't show you how to do it. So you get the concept, but you don't know how to apply it. Do you see what I'm saying? You're like, okay, that makes sense, but how do you do that? No one's teaching you how to do it. This is all we do every week on our calls. Pull up your things, let's show you how. And we help you, and we tailor everything, so it's personalized for you. It's guaranteed to work unless you don't show up, right? So we're going to help you build a buyer's list. This alone will probably give you 15, 20 hours a week of your life back from whatever you're doing now. We want to show you our Code the Client system, which we're also going to talk about tomorrow. This is how you're going to convert leads faster without the hustling and chasing, right? You're going to build sales skills. And here's the beautiful thing. I always say, I'll never be broke. You know why I'll never be broke? I'll never financially struggle. You know why? I can sell anything. I can sell a house, I can sell a car, I can sell lipstick, I can sell coaching, I can sell, it doesn't matter. I know how to sell. I know how to sell. I know how to communicate to people, right? When you know those skills, you have those for life. You will have what I teach you long after you leave Sales Academy. And if you ever change business model or you decide to go start a different business or go work for a different niche or company, you'll be a top seller. You'll be the highest performer financially in any company you work in because you have these skills. Every other program out there teaches you strategy. I'm not teaching you Instagram. I'm not teaching you LinkedIn. I don't care what platform you use. Our sales strategy and skill, you can apply it anywhere. Doesn't matter, right? I'm also going to show you guys how to prevent 90% of objections before they ever happen. One of the biggest things we hear right now from everybody across the board, the amount of objections and resistance that they're getting in sales conversations. It's preventing them from hitting sales goals. Either them or their team, whoever's doing the selling, right? Because you can't get past the objection. Everybody's got an objection, right? Money, time, I got to talk to your partner or somebody else. I got to think about it. All of those things are constantly, everyone's coming up against those. And you can eliminate 90% of those from ever happening. 5-star framework is one part of that. You can eliminate that from happening, right? The other thing is we want to show you guys, how do you keep your pipeline full so you don't have this with your income? I do really good when I do these things, but if I'm not doing those, I'm down here. I have a good month and then I don't have anything for months, up and down. You don't have a consistent, repeatable income that you can depend on, right? I know, I make this much every month minimum. We like to get everyone at Sales Academy to 10K months. Then we stack. If you can't keep 10K months for a minimum of 90 days, we got to look at what's broke. Something is broke, something's not working, right? You don't go from 10K to 0K. That's not a thing. Something isn't working. So if you could do 10, you can do 20. If you could do 20, you can do 50. If you can do 50, you can do 100. It's looking at what is it that you're doing, and then where do we have breakdowns? We call these gaps. Close that gap. We get you over the finish line, right? So our goal, we start usually around let's get 50 people on your buyers list. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you guys how to get 3 people or 5. Are we doing 5, Sydney? Probably doing 5. We're going to get your first 5 people on a buyers list tomorrow, okay? And in Sales Academy, we want you to get to your first 50. We want to do that relatively quickly. And then I want to show you how to work them and convert them. Then we're going to go to 100. Then we're going to go to 500, and then we're in the thousands. And you're probably thinking, how the hell do you work all those leads? You have to know how to prioritize and how to move them. And we're going to show you how to do that in Sales Academy, right? You want to keep your pipeline full. Here's what you never want. You never want to say, Anne, I don't know how I'm making a sale this week. I don't know if I'm making a sale this week. In fact, I don't even know where the sale would come from if I was going to make one this week. Dangerous if you're in charge of your sales, right? If you're in charge of making money in your position or business, that's a dangerous place to be where you have no idea. So what we want to do is equip you with the sales strategy and skill. And then we want to show you how do you keep that running so it's sustainable, predictable, consistent, but it's also scalable. Meaning we're going to build a system that if you want to, once it's making consistent money, you could hire someone to run it for you, a seller, right? We have people that do our sales. We have people that do our qualifying. You have people that can do that for you because you got it working. It's a machine. We call it your sales pipeline machine. It can run without you. You can take vacation. I take CEO week every month, whole week off every month. Clients get taken care of, sales happen. Nothing dies, nothing falls away, but I can take that off, right? These are the things we help you do. The goal is initially 10K a month. If you're already doing 10K, I can show you how to do 20, 50K. Easy. But if you're not even doing 10K months right now, you need to be in Sales Academy. It starts now. It's a live program. It starts right now the day you join, right? So if you've already been sitting for, let's say you've been trying to get to 10K months for 4 months, 6 months, 12 months. What about if we could get you to 10K months in 90 days? It's better than what you're doing right now, right? The point behind this is the goal is sales. Dollars, cents in the bank, money in the bank. That's the only thing we're doing. when it's not even about platforms and strategy and funnels and money, dollars, cents in the bank consistently, but in a way that feels good. So it's all about by ethics, right? We do it all in a good way. So what you're going to get, and I'm just going to come off the screen because it's really irrelevant at this point. I'm just going to tell you what you're going to get. You join the Sales Academy, okay? You can come in. As soon as you come in, you'll actually meet with Sydney. So Sydney is the head coach over there in the Sales Academy. She's been with me for years. She's head coach in all of our programs. She works with our clients. She helps. She's on every call. She's a big part of the program. She keeps all of our clients kind of moving and grooving, supports everybody. When you come in, you get a one-on-one call with Sydney. Okay, this is where you guys are going to create your 90-day sales sprint. What are we doing in the first 30, 60, 90 days to get your investment back? I don't care about building your long-term future. What are we doing to get your investment back? Then we're going to help you. Once we do that, we're going to work through the program. We'll help you set up your 5-star framework. We're going to help you set up your buyers list. We're going to make sure that the way that you talk about what you're asking people to pay for is spot on. We're going to help you with all of those things in between. We're going to help you master the sales conversation, right? We're going to teach you ethical sales backed by human behavior, sales psychology. It just works. We're going to teach that and infuse it into everything. You don't need to learn brain science. We're just going to infuse it into what we have you do, so it'll feel natural for you. We have a coaching call every week. And it's not like other programs. Hop on and ask a question. You're going to get on and we're going to work through your systems. We're going to say, are you struggling at the top, middle, or bottom of the funnel? Top of the funnel, and I am not attracting the right people. We got to work on that right now today. Let's do it. Middle of the funnel, I'm talking and having conversations. These are not the right people. I keep getting objections. I got to think about it. I'm chasing leads. I just feel like this part is just taking me forever to get someone over the finish line. The bottom of the funnel is, yeah, I'm having sales conversations. I need more sales though. I need more yeses, less objections, more yeses, and I need it consistently. And ideally, I would like clients to pay me for 2 to 5 years so that I'm not chasing the next set of sales all the time, right? So we're looking at where are your gaps and we're working with you through those. So these are action-based type calls. I'll teach you a little, we'll coach a little. But the whole time you're going to take action, you're going to be productive on these calls, okay? So these are not just like have fun, come on and ask a random question. These are high-level calls where you're focused on sales. You can always know I will make dollars and cents when I get on these calls because we're always doing dollars and cents, right? That's the whole point. We have a community where you guys can ask questions. We have nice threads. It's organized. These are not like other groups where someone will ask a question and have you ever seen the F in the comments? Meaning I'm following. Everybody's following the post. Nobody's answering the damn thing. But you ask a question and everyone's like, following, me too, I have that question. It's like, who's going to answer the question? And then 3, 4, 5 days later, a week later, nobody's answered the question. I see that all the time, even in big programs I go in. And I'm like, someone needs to be answering the question. So we answer your questions Monday through Friday. We do Loom video responses. We'll give feedback on your sales conversations. We'll give you feedback if you're talking in conversations and DMs with people. Give you feedback on the sales content that you're putting out that's inviting people to talk to you. We'll look at all sales related stuff and give you real-time feedback. Okay, sometimes we'll verbalize it. Sometimes we'll do a Loom video for you. Sometimes we'll text it out for you. A whole mix of the things, but this is live, real-time, hands-on coaching, okay? All around sales. And then we do different things, like we have different events where we'll spend 4 or 5 hours on a Zoom as a group, and we'll just hammer one thing. Like it could be build your buyers list. Today we're going to put 50 people on a buyers list, and we're going to send our first message to every one of them. Little things like that where we just deep dive into an area that most of you are struggling with. So we do fun things like that. Sydney, is there anything I'm missing? Oh, we give you guys like all word track, by the way. So when I say, hey, go say this, or hey, do this, I will give you word track. Here's like 5 examples of how you could say it. All backed by science. These work. Pick any of them and go. Because money loves speed, right? So the whole point is we want you to move fast. And if you don't move fast because you're like, I don't know what to say, Anne, how should I say it? What do I say? Then you're stuck. And then you're spinning your wheels, and you could do that for a week. We've had clients do that for a whole week. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, you just lost a $10,000 sale because you didn't know what to say. We can't have that. So we're going to tell you what to say, but you'll tweak it so it makes sense for you and feels good for you. But we're going to give you the science behind it. Say something like this. Okay. So every step of the way we're doing that. So there's very little thinking that you have to do. You need the alignment and you need the commitment to do the work. That's it. We'll bring the rest to the table. Those are the two things you need. We'll give you the word chart. We'll give you the action. We'll give you the verbiage. We'll help troubleshoot when you have issues coming up. You just need to show up. You need to be coachable. You need to implement and you need to be convicted in what you do. That's it. That's all you got to bring to the table. We got you on the rest, right? Cindy, is there anything I'm missing?
No, I wouldn't say there's anything you're missing. I would just say the biggest difference between Sales Academy and a lot of other programs out there, well, there are no other specifically sales coaching programs like this. You get a lot of business coaching, which kind of puts you in a position of, you know, what focusing on a bunch of things that don't actually produce the sale. Like you are in business to get the sale, not focus on all these other fluffy things that we don't need to be focusing on. So that's number one. And number two, I would say the biggest difference is we really focus on taking action versus just tons and tons and tons of learning. Yes, you come in and you get a full curriculum full of learning, but the majority of our coaching calls are, okay, let's do this small teaching refresher, but then let's go take action and let's audit your actions. So if, for example, like, okay, today we're going to go send messages to our leads. We're going to audit what exactly are you saying? How can we tweak that to be better? So that then when you're on your own, you have exactly what you're going to say. So I would say that is another huge, huge, huge component is we're actually taking action and implementing.
Yeah. Those are the two biggest points right there that Sydney just said. One is the action. There's a lot of teaching and a lot of information in these programs, but nobody's taken any action, and action is what produces the result, right? That is super, super critical and important. It's a huge part of Sales Academy. That is what we're doing over there, right? The other part that I loved is most programs out there are focused on business coaching and business strategy. So what happens is you end up focusing so much on the business, but the business is broke. And there's not really a business if it doesn't make money. Like a business has to make money, right? We can all agree to that. If there's any business, brick and mortar or not, that isn't making money, they go out of business. They shut their doors. So a business has to make money, right? And so when you go into most of these programs and different courses or whatever, there's a lot of strategy and a lot of business focus, very little to no actual sales. And that's a big key difference in Sales Academy is we're the opposite, right? We teach you how to make money because you don't even have a business if it doesn't make money. So we do that first, right? So just for you guys, so a reminder, if you watched yesterday, you've heard this, but I want to remind you, we do have a couple of options. The first option is you can come in at $497 a month and you can test drive Sales Academy for 4 months. So you can come in, if after 4 months you don't love it, which we doubt, if you feel like, okay, not for me, I don't want to do it, I'm out, you can leave and we're not going to say anything about it. We might ask your thoughts and feedback so we can improve, but we're not holding you hostage. We're going to let you go after 4 months if you don't love it, because if you don't love it and if you're not going to do it, you're not going to get the result and it's pointless for all of us, right? Or after 4 months, you might say, I love it. I'm going to just keep paying $497 a month and stay right here. We also have the option to pay in full. So you could choose to pay $5,000 for the year, which saves $900. But with the $5,000, you're not only going to get the Sales Academy, like we just talked about, the weekly coaching, the one-on-one session, the curriculum, all of that real-time support and feedback, but you're also going to unlock 12 months with me, private pocket coaching inside Voxer. So that's voice and text, Monday through Friday. You can literally pick up your phone anywhere that you're at and say, and I have a thought, and I have a question, and I need help, and I'm stuck. I will coach you. I will guide you. You'll get really fast. My clients like it because it's super fast coaching where you can move, right? Because they say money loves speed. We don't want you stuck in a lot of what ifs and how, and I didn't know what to do. So Voxer is a great way for you to have access to me like that, to get on the spot coaching so you can keep moving quickly. So you'll get that for the whole year. It's Monday through Friday. Also, you'll get our VIP upgrade package if you pay in full, which is extra accountability. Okay. This means that you'll get some one-on-one check-in sessions. You'll get a weekly check-in. You get extra access to Sydney if you are stuck, or if you're having a hard time, or something you're doing is not working. If you're someone who just likes to have some extra accountability, extra eyes on your stuff, you just want that support if you need it, the VIP package is great. The third option is if you do the monthly payment and you don't pay in full, you can make a one-time 500 and you can get the VIP accountability in the monthly for that 500 for the whole year, and you can get that. So it's a quarterly 45-minute sales deep dive. You'll get a weekly personalized check-in. Sometimes it's voice, text, it might be Loom or a mix of both. And you'll get 2 20-minute SOS calls every quarter just to check in where you're at, close any gaps that you're having to keep things moving swiftly and smoothly. It's just a way for you guys to get that extra accountability, because in a group program, there's no one-on-one. So we have to find, you pay in full and get one-on-one with me, or you can do the monthly option and you'll pay an extra 500 one time and get accountability with Sydney, or you pay in full and you get the whole shebang. You get all of it, right? So those are the options. If you're watching the replay, there's a button below where you can either click it and connect. If you're on Facebook, you'll talk with Sydney. If you're on LinkedIn, you can come chat with me, and we'll answer any questions you have about Sales Academy. You can ask us any questions. We'll see if it's a good fit. We're only going to welcome you in or make the invitation if we feel like you will definitely win and we can help you. If not, we'll give you some direction so at least you know what to go off and do. But at minimum, continue watching. We have 3 more days to go. We have great content. Tomorrow we're going to work on your buyers list. We're going to talk about that, how to start building it, what we do in Sales Academy to move and convert those buyers. So you definitely don't want to miss that. So we're right back at the same Zoom, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Replay for this will be out in your, it'll go via email, but it'll be on that replay page, which will come out here shortly. If you guys have any questions or need anything, connect with us. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right, bye everybody.